Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Factory Figma No.231 Guyver 1. Guyver 1 comes from the 1985 manga Bio Booster Armor Guyver. When an incomplete zoonoid, a being with the ability to transform into a monster, escapes from the Kronos Corporation with 3 mysterious items known as Guyver units, the Kronos Corporation sends out a team to retrieve the stolen Guyver units. When the Kronos team corners the incomplete zoonoid, he plays his trump card and detonates a bomb. The explosion from the bomb scatters the Guyver units into the nearby forest. A young high school student named Sho Fukumachi and his friend Tetsuro stumble upon one of the Guyver units. While examining the Guyver unit, Sho accidentally activates the Guyver unit and the unit attaches to his body. As the unit attaches to Sho's body, he falls into a lake. As Tetsuro stands in shock, the Kronos team arrives with one of the members fully transformed into his zoonoid form. Just as Tetsuro is about to be killed, Guyver 1 emerges from the lake, crushes the zoonoid's head, and the Kronos team retreats in fear. Sho soon regains consciousness and realizes his body is encased in this strange armor. Sho screams out in fear, causing the armor to release from his body and return to the lake. Even though it seems Sho is free of the armor is actually now a part of him. Sho comes to realize his life as a normal high school student is over as he struggles to understand his newfound power known as the Guyver. Now Sho is stuck in a never-ending struggle against the evil global Kronos Corporation with their legion of powerful zoonoids who are led by even more powerful beings who will use absolutely any means necessary to retrieve the Guyver unit. Be sure to check out the 1985 manga Bio Booster Armor Guyver and its several animated adaptations. They are all absolutely fantastic. Factory Figma No.231 Guyver 1 is another fantastic release in the Figma line. Guyver 1 has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. First, let's take a look at Guyver 1's accessories. Guyver 1 comes with 4 pairs of hands, a pair of high-frequency blades, 1 Guyver unit, 1 alternate chest piece, and 1 stand. If you pre-order Guyver 1 directly from the Good Smile website, you will also receive this special DI stage. First, let's start with the hands. Guyver 1 comes with a pair of open hands, a pair of chopping hands, a pair of holding hands, and a pair of gripping hands. Each of the hands have a fantastic sculpt of fantastic paint applications. The outside of the hands have a very nice armored sculpt with a nice teal paint app. The inside of the hands have a very nicely detailed biological sculpt with a nice purplish black paint app. It's also very nice that the hands come with a convenient tree to store them on. Guyver 1's hands attach via a peg system. When removing the hands, hold close to the wrist joint so the pressure is on the hand and not the wrist joint itself. If you apply too much pressure incorrectly, the entire wrist joint will come out of the forearm, so do be careful. Once you carefully remove the fist, attach the desired pair of hands to match your favorite dynamic pose. Next, we have the pair of high-frequency blades. The high-frequency blades have a very nice sharp sculpt with a nice teal paint app. To attach the high-frequency blades, remove the retracted high-frequency blades from the forearms and peg in the new blades following the slotted pattern in the forearm. Now with his extended high-frequency blades attached, Guyver 1 can easily decapitate his foes. Next, we have the alternate chest piece. The alternate chest piece has a fantastic detailed sculpt with a nice teal paint app. To attach the alternate chest piece, remove Guyver 1's current chest piece and then attach the new alternate chest piece. I find it's easier to remove the initial chest piece by pulling close to the chest vents. Once you have the initial chest piece removed, attach the alternate chest piece by simply pegging it in. Now with the new alternate chest piece attached, Guyver 1 has a better range of movement so he can use his pressure cannon. Next, we have the Guyver unit. The Guyver unit has a fantastic sculpt and fantastic paint applications. On the outside, we have the weathered teal armor plates with very clean panel lines. In the center, we have the nice metallic silver control mantle. On the inside, we have the very nicely detailed biological side of the Guyver unit. Even though this accessory does not directly interact with Guyver 1, it's still very nice to have. Maybe we could have a Guyver Kamen Rider or maybe even a Guyver Godzilla. Next, we have the stand. The stand is your typical clear Figma stand. The stand also comes with an extra peg piece which aids in putting Guyver 1 into dynamic poses on the stand. The stand pegs directly into Guyver 1's lower back. Pegging the stand into Guyver 1's lower back can be a little bit difficult, so do be careful. Once you have the stand pegged into Guyver 1's back, you can put him in seamless jumping and flying poses. Figma has also included an extra Figma joint in a bag to store your accessories if you need them, which is always appreciated. Finally, if you pre-order Guyver 1 directly from the Good Smile website, you also receive this very nice DI stage. The DI stage comes with a base, a connector, and 2 backdrop pieces. The base is glossy black with tons of peg holes to plug the neck of the stand into. The backdrop pieces are very nice and made of some fairly sturdy cardboard. We have a piece for the base and a piece for the background. The base piece has some very cool crater artwork for Guyver 1's feet. The background piece has a very nice large crater. To set everything up, first, remove the outer edges of the DI stage. Next, grab the base backdrop and fold the edges along the crease lines. Place the folded base backdrop on the DI stage and secure it by reattaching the DI stage edges. Before placing the last edge of the DI stage, insert the background piece and that's it. Now we have a very cool backdrop for Guyver 1, simulating that he's just transformed. If you want to have Guyver 1 on his stand with this setup, then you'll have to cut out a hole in the base backdrop so the stand can peg directly into the base itself. This DI stage is pretty cool and all, but I think I would have liked to have seen something else as a pre-order bonus. Maybe an additional head that replicates the signature art of Sho pulling back the Guyver armor and revealing his face, just like Max Factory did with our second release of Biofighter Collection Guyver 1. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the Guyver 1 figure itself. Guyver 1 has a fantastic range of articulation. First, let's start with the head. We can look up, down, left, right. The shoulders have a nice range of rotation. They can also rotate a full 360 degrees. The arms can come out 90 degrees. We have an upper bicep swivel. We have very nice double jointed elbows. The elbows can also swivel. The fists are on ball joint pegs, so we can tilt and spin these freely. In the upper chest, we can lean forwards, backwards, twist side to side, and lean side to side. Also in the chest, we have a gimmick. We can open up these panels and it reveals the Mega Smasher, which is definitely very cool. Moving on to the waist area, we can lean forwards, backwards, twist side to side, and lean side to side. For the legs here, we can get a very nice high kick, and also we can do a full split. We have an upper thigh swivel. We have very nice double jointed knees. The feet can tilt and slightly swivel, and then finally, the toes are articulated. As fantastic as Guyver 1's articulation is, there are 2 minor issues here in the waist area. So for the legs, if you pull on the legs, you'll notice you'll get a very strange seesaw motion. This weird seesaw motion can make it very hard to make Guyver 1 stand up perfectly straight. Also, I'm not a big fan of this free-floating codpiece because again, with the leg seesawing, this codpiece has become out of alignment, so in the end, it can be a little bit difficult to make Guyver 1 stand up perfectly straight, so do be aware of that. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, Guyver 1 is absolutely fantastic. Starting with the head, we have Guyver 1's antenna with a nice sharp sculpt. As we move downward, we can see the biological details underneath the antenna that have a purplish black paint app. Next, we have the sensory orbs at the base of the antenna that have a nice metallic red paint app. Next, we have the primary sensory orbs that have a very nice metallic silver paint app. We also can see more of the biological elements surrounding the orbs. Guyver 1's head beam has a nice metallic green paint app, and its control metal again is a nice metallic silver. Guyver 1's eyes are a nice compound magenta. Guyver 1's exhaust vents are very nice and prominent. The vibration orbs are inset, giving added depth with a nice metallic silver paint app. Moving down to the chest, the armor is nice and smooth. There are nice creases and folds on the vent tubes coming from the chest. Inside of the chest, we had the lens bodies that are nice compound pearl. In the promo photos and the box photos, the lens bodies are supposed to be more of a gold color. I'm not sure why they chose this pearl-like color, but I can let it slide. Around the lens bodies, we have more than nicely detailed biological elements. These same biological elements can also be seen inside of the chest panels. Moving on to the waist area, we have Guyver 1's gravity orb, which is a nice metallic silver. The rest of Guyver 1's body is very nicely detailed, consisting of weathered teal for the armor and purplish black for the biological side of Guyver 1. As a whole, Guyver 1 is a fantastic release and a must-have for Guyver fans. Now, let's compare our Figma Guyver 1 with our Biofighter Collection Guyver 1. When it comes to comparing Figma Guyver 1 with Biofighter Collection Guyver 1, there are some very noticeable differences when it comes to sculpting and engineering for both figures. First up, for scaling, as you can see, Figma Guyver 1 is significantly shorter than our Biofighter Collection Guyver 1. Figma Guyver 1 stands roughly 6 inches tall, while Biofighter Collection Guyver 1 stands slightly over 7 inches tall. This means Figma Guyver 1 is definitely out of scale with the rest of the Biofighter Collection figures, which we will see in just a few moments. When it comes to the head sculpt, both figures look fantastic and true to form, but it seems the figures have different inspirations. Figma Guyver 1 favors Guyver 1 from the 2005 anime with the larger, more rounded eyes. Biofighter Collection Guyver 1 seems to favor the manga and the OVA with smaller and more angular eyes. Engineering-wise, Figma Guyver 1 differs quite a bit from Biofighter Collection Guyver 1. First, you will notice the shoulder pads are made a whole lot better. One issue with our Biofighter Collection Guyver 1 is, if you raise the arms up too high, the shoulder pads will pop off, which is very annoying. On Figma Guyver 1, the shoulder pads are secured by a rubber loop-like system, so we can raise the arms up as high as we want to and we don't have to worry about the shoulder pads popping off. When it comes to the Mega Smasher, Biofighter Collection Guyver 1's Mega Smasher relies on a metal rod system. This system is nice, but sometimes the chest panel can pop off, which can be a little bit annoying. Figma Guyver 1 improves on this system by having the chest panels open and close via a ball joint peg system. As nice as this improvement is, I often find the panels to become misaligned and not close correctly. Now this is more of an aesthetic nitpick because it can be easily remedied by attaching the alternate chest piece. Another improvement that Figma Guyver 1 has over a Biofighter Collection Guyver 1 is how the high-frequency blades are attached. The blades on our Biofighter Collection Guyver 1 attach via a very flimsy peg system with the peg protruding from the forearm. As you can tell, with the peg being loose, there is a chance you could snap the peg off in the forearm. Now later in the Biofighter Collection, they did switch the system with the peg being in the blade and not the forearm itself. The blades on Figma Guyver 1 simply peg into the forearms using a male peg and female slot. Connecting the blades on Figma Guyver 1 is a lot easier and less nerve-wracking. When it comes to articulation as a whole, Figma Guyver 1 has a better range of motion as compared to our Biofighter Collection Guyver 1. As a whole, I'm very happy with how Figma Guyver 1 turned out. Considering how expensive and rare the Biofighter Collection has become, Figma Guyver 1 is definitely a fantastic, more affordable option if you're looking for a very cool articulated Guyver figure. Now with me being a huge Guyver fan, in the end, I still recommend trying to pick up the entire Biofighter Collection. As of right now, we do not know how deep into the Guyver universe Max Factory will go with their Figma releases. Hopefully, we'll get to see some releases of the other Guyvers, Zoolords, and Zoonoids. If this figure sells well enough, I'm sure we'll get to see more Figma Guyver releases. Now this was a very important release for me personally, so I decided to pick up 3 Guyver 1s. Guyver fans, make sure to do your part in supporting this release so we can see more of these. Now, let's do some size comparisons first with the Biofighter Collection and then some figures from other figure lines. To conclude the review, Max Factory Figma No. 231 Guyver 1 is another fantastic release in the Figma line. Guyver 1 has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. I absolutely recommend that everyone picks this figure up. Be sure to check out the 1985 manga Bio Booster Armor Guyver, as well as the 1986 OVA Guyver Out of Control. Also check out the 1989 OVA, The Guyver Bio Booster Armor, and then finally check out the 2005 anime Guyver The Bio Boosted Armor. The manga, as well as the several animated adaptations, are all absolutely fantastic. A very special shout out goes to Monstrosities Tokusatsu Vlog. Monstrosities made an absolutely fantastic Guyver tribute video detailing the history of Guyver and more. Also, want to give another special shout out to absolutely fantastic toy reviewer and artist Death to Cornbread, who also did an absolutely fantastic job reviewing this Guyver 1 Figma figure. Links to their videos will be in the description of this video. This has been another review by Diego Doom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Also, don't forget to check out the Facebook fan page where you can see tons of photos from these reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.